Recently, I was putting a lot of focus on my books and I was putting less focus on my chickens. For me, when I came back home, surprisingly, one morning I entered my chicken house to see how my chickens are in the morning, to give them the water. Surprisingly, guys, I found one of my chickens dead. Like yesterday previously, my chickens were attacked by a contagious and deadly disease, and well, I lost some of my chickens. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the lessons that I've learned from that situation so that you don't repeat the same mistakes. Well, just stick to the video right through up to the very end. Hi guys, it's a beautiful day here on the farm where recently my chickens were attacked by a contagious and deadly disease, and well, I lost some of my chickens. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the lessons that I've learned from that situation so that you don't repeat the same mistakes. Well, just stick to the video right through up to the very end. And well, welcome back from Paris with me, Edison, a college student and a young poultry farmer here in Uganda with deep passion in poultry. So if you want to transform your poultry farm into a profitable poultry farm, you want to transform your chickens into profits, just subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you are the first to know when I upload a new video. Well, let's dive in right away. Recently, I was putting a lot of focus on my books and I was putting less focus on my chickens. For me, when I came back home on the farm and I observed the feeders, when all the feeds, they have completed the feeds of the day, the chickens, when you look at their bellies, you can tell, guys, when you look at their bellies, just near looking at them, you can tell how big they are. You can see that one, guys, how big they are. You can tell that they have really ate the feeds, they have really drank the water. You can tell, guys, they have drank the water. You can even see on the drinker, yeah, you can tell that these chickens have drank the water. Even these ones, yeah, you can see the feeders almost empty because right now they have completed most of their they have completed their daily food, their day food. Yeah, the day food that was supposed to be given to them today, they have finished them. You can see the water almost complete, yeah, so almost complete. But you can see that feeder, that I mean the drinker, yeah, you can see the drinker, it contains water, but you can see chickens are going there, they are taking the water. You can see them. But there is also this drinker, chickens, they come and take the water, yeah. So when I came back in the evening, I saw that situation, and the chickens have completed their feeds, they have completed the drinking water. For me personally, I thought that my chickens are all right and everything is okay. Surprisingly, one morning I entered my chicken house to see how my chickens are in the morning, to give them the water. Surprisingly, guys, I found one of my chickens dead. Like yesterday the day before, they had completed the feeds of the day. They had drunk well, the estimated water, the water that when you are, for example, guys, if you are feeding your chickens 2 kilograms of feeds, you estimate that they are going to drink about 4 liters of water. Yeah, so they had completed the water that I had estimated they were supposed to complete. So everything seemed to be okay. Yeah, they seemed to be looking all right. So in the morning I found one dead, and as I was giving them feeds, I saw one of the chicken when it couldn't walk properly, so I gave it some vitamins, some glucovit, and after a few minutes it couldn't even stand, and within 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, I lost the chicken. Then I saw another chicken, another chicken, another chicken, another chicken. They became 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I called someone, I explained the situation, and I got help. Yeah, I got help. But by the time I got help, I had lost about 9 of them, about 9, because by the end of the day I had lost about 10 of them, yeah. But by the time I called someone, my chickens are dying, I explained the situation on the farm, yeah, and I was able to get the right information how to treat my chickens. But guys, my chickens were dying because one of the things that caused that situation, it was I was putting less focus on them, yeah. So the chickens had already shown the signs of the disease in their droppings, but for me I was only minding on the feeds, yeah, just looking on the feeders as I was showing you guys, looking on the drinkers when chickens have drank the water and ate the feeds. To me, I thought that when they drink well and eat well, it means that they're okay. But guys, I found out that one of the ways you can find out, one of the quickest ways you can find out that your chickens are suffering from a disease by looking at their droppings, yeah. Let me take you here, guys. This is the door entering app, but you can see here, you can observe the droppings, the chicken droppings. If your chickens get attacked by a disease, it will reflect immediately in these droppings. So for example, if they get, for example, coccidiosis, you will start seeing blood stains in their droppings, or any disease, it will reflect immediately in their droppings. So when you come in the morning to check on your birds, you need to make sure that you observe critically the droppings, because if you don't observe the droppings, your chickens can be eating well, they can drink well. My mother's stock was laying well, like it was well laying at the percentage that it usually lays on a daily basis. So I thought that everything is okay, but I lost one of my cocks, guys. You can see currently I have 4 cocks in my flock, in my mother's stock. Soon I'm going to be purchasing the 5th flock because I need them to be 5, because I'm giving 5 hens per cock. So the hens are about 44 hens. I have about 4 cocks, so I need to buy a 5th cock, yeah, so that most of the eggs that I get here on the farm are fertilized. But currently I have for now I have 4 cocks. Soon I'm purchasing the 5th cock and bringing it in my mother's stock, yeah. Well, that happened because I was paying too much attention on my books, and I was paying less attention to my chickens. So guys, you need to make sure that you pay attention to your chickens. Make sure that you pay attention to details, yeah. These local chickens, they can take time without reflecting the disease. They can take, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks without reflecting the disease. So you need to make sure that you observe critically these chicken droppings, because when I called and I explained the situation, they told me that you observe the chicken droppings. They told me that your chickens have been showing this sign in their droppings, and you just didn't bother, looking at the chicken droppings, and that way lost the chickens. So if I had been paying attention to the chicken droppings, if I had been paying attention to my chickens, the chicken droppings, I wouldn't lose my birds, yeah. So I lost my birds, one, because I was paying less attention to them. So you need to make sure that you pay attention to your birds. You need to make sure that you observe them. When you come in, you look into your flock, observe critically. Are they looking okay? Have they eaten well? Does their crop contain water or feeds? Have they drank the correct amount of water they're supposed to take in? Have they eaten the correct feeds they are supposed to eat? Yeah, you need to observe all that things. You need to observe whether they are walking properly. You need to observe all that stuff. You need to observe very well the chicken droppings, because if they get any disease, it will immediately reflect in the chicken droppings. Another thing that I learned is that vaccination is very important. Well guys, vaccination is simply introducing a vaccine in the chicken's body to boost its immunity to fight against a certain disease in the near future in case it ever comes on the farm. For example, we vaccinate our birds against the Newcastle disease to boost their immunity to fight against the Newcastle disease in case it ever comes on the farm. Well, for me, recently my chickens were attacked by Newcastle and coccidiosis. So it was combination of a Newcastle and coccidiosis, and my chickens, as I've shared with you guys, few minutes it couldn't walk properly, and within the next few minutes it couldn't even stand, and within 1 to 2 hours you lose the chicken. But when you touch the crop of the chicken, it has water, it has the feeds, yeah, but just like that you lose the chicken, and it was because of the Newcastle. Well, currently here up I have about 160 birds. I was keeping about 270 birds and I lost about 10 birds, so I shifted about 100 birds to the ground floor and I remained with about 160 birds here up. So these are about 160 birds, guys. These are about 160 and the mother stock they're about 50, yeah, so that makes them about, here up I have about 210 birds. Well, these birds is about 2 months approximately. They are still making their 2 months, guys. Well, recently when I was attacked by that disease here on the farm, one of the things that helped my chickens not to die at a faster rate, it was because of the vaccination, yeah, because ever since I brought them on the farm, I've been vaccinating them frequently against that Newcastle disease, the Gumboro, all the diseases that are supposed to be vaccinated, and it is one of the things that enabled my chickens to fight against that disease. Imagine, guys, for me I was paying less attention to them, and by the time I identified that I had an issue on the farm when my chickens started dying, yeah, so my chickens were able to survive that disease, the Newcastle disease with the coccidiosis disease, because they were being vaccinated the Newcastle disease. So it is that vaccine that I was giving them when they are growing up that enabled them to fight against that disease on the farm, and when it came on the farm it didn't affect me that much, yeah. Well, I lost about 10. Well, it's quite a big number, guys. It's really quite a big number. Honestly, it's quite a big number. But my chickens were able to survive. I was able to save most of my chickens because I had been vaccinating them frequently during that stage of growing. So you need to make sure that you vaccinate your birds. Make sure when you go to buy your chickens from your supplier, you ask the supplier of your chickens to give you a vaccination schedule that you are going to be following when vaccinating your birds, and you need to make sure that you vaccinate birds with the right vaccines that you are supposed to vaccinate them with. In that way, that will enable you to raise very healthy flock. Another thing that I've learned, guys, is that when your chickens behave in a way that you don't understand, when you encounter any situation on your farm that you don't understand, any situation, make sure that you inquire, make sure that you consult an expert, yeah. For me, one of the things that has enabled me currently from the situation that I was experiencing, losing my chicken suddenly, when you look at the chicken, it looks to be okay, it looks to be healthy, but within a few minutes, it can't walk properly. Just near see the chicken, like, guys, look at the chicken just like that, and few minutes it can't walk properly, and within the next few seconds it can't even stand, and within 1 to 2 hours you lose the bird, yeah. So through that situation I was in, one of the things that I've learned is that when you consult an expert quickly to help you to save your flock very quickly, yeah. For me personally, one of the things that enabled me to save my flock, it was consulting an expert, yeah. Immediately I discovered that my chickens are dying at a faster rate, 1 chicken, 2 chicken, 3 chicken, 5 chicken. I consulted an expert, and by the time I was able to buy the antibiotics and the vitamins that I was recommended to buy after explaining the situation and analyzing the situation, the antibiotics and the vitamins that I was recommended to buy, after buying them, coming on the farm, giving to the chickens, I lost about 10 chickens, yeah. I lost about 10 chickens, yeah. But guys, I called one of the chicken when it's still okay. So when I gave them the antibiotic, actually, guys, I had lost hope, yeah. I've made a video about that chicken. I'll leave its link in the description below. I gave it the antibiotic, but I think by the time I gave it the antibiotic, yeah, it was affected by the disease severely. So I thought that the chicken had lost life, yeah, because it couldn't even support its neck, guys. Well, when I went down, I removed it from these chickens, yeah. I removed it from these chickens because for them they look to be okay. So when I brought the antibiotics and I gave to these chickens, when I saw that chicken, when it's not okay, it couldn't even support its neck, I took it down. Surprisingly, guys, I observed it when it still has life, yeah, and I just left it there. I decided, yeah, let me leave it there. So I buried the other chickens, the dead bodies of the chickens that had died. So I left it there in the isolation unit. But I had lost hope, guys. I had totally lost hope. But the next morning, I was surprised, like when the chicken could at least support its neck for about a few seconds up, yeah. Support its neck about few seconds up, and by the end of the next evening, the next day in the evening, the chicken could support its neck for good minutes, and by the next morning the chicken was okay. Why? Because I consulted an expert quickly and I received the right advice that I needed. So I bought the right antibiotics that I needed to give to my chickens, and I gave to my chickens, and I was able to save my chickens, yeah. So guys, you need to make sure that when you encounter any situation you don't understand on your farm, make sure that you consult an expert, and in that way it will help you as a farmer to save your birds so that you don't make a big loss. Because for me, I lost about 10 birds. It's quite a big loss really, guys, because I had about 270, as I've told you guys. I lost about 10. It's quite a big number, you know, guys. It's quite a big number because imagine, guys, raising the chickens from the brooder, yeah, that critical moment of the brooder, I raised them happily. Actually, guys, for me, the brooder, I didn't even lose that much birds. I didn't lose that much birds because, you know, I made sure that I followed all that I was supposed to follow so that I didn't lose much birds, yeah. So imagine, guys, completing the brooding process when your birds are okay, and after the brooding you start losing birds. It's really crazy, yeah. It's really crazy, guys. But I was able to save 90% of my birds, actually more than 95% of the birds, because I was able to contact an expert. I contacted an expert very quickly when I discovered a situation that I had a situation on my farm and I got hope. So you need to make sure, guys, that you consult an expert immediately you identify a situation that you don't understand on your farm. So in that way you will be able to save your chicken. So guys, that's it for today. Well, just to recap the lessons that I've learned from the current situation that I've experienced on my farm. Number one is that you need to make sure that you focus on your chickens, yeah. Observe critically their behaviors, how they are behaving, yeah, the feeding, the drinking rate, and also, guys, make sure that you observe critically the chicken droppings, because when your chickens get any disease it will immediately reflect in their chicken droppings. So you need to make sure that you check your chicken droppings immediately, occasionally on your farm. When you come to check on them every morning, every evening, make sure that you observe critically the chicken droppings, yeah. And number two, guys, you need to make sure that you do vaccinate your birds, yeah. Make sure that you vaccinate your birds with the right vaccines and follow the right vaccination schedule that you are supposed to follow. And also, guys, you need to make sure that when you ever encounter any situation that you don't understand on your farm, make sure that you consult an expert, yeah. When you have anything you don't understand on your farm, consult an expert. In that way it will help you to get help quickly and save your birds. So guys, that's it for today. I hope the video has been very helpful to you, yeah. So if I found the video interesting, guys, comment on the video, share it with anyone you think it will be very helpful too. And if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, come on guys, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because on this channel, Farm Palace, I share with you real farming experience, real lessons, real experience, real tips. So just subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you are the first to know when I upload a new video. Lots of love. Thanks again for watching. Catch you very soon with another video. Bye bye.